Section 2.2 SI length measurements. Remember, SI units are a system of measurements in which units are based on powers of 10. It is also called the metric system. Here are some examples of different SI measurements. We have the kilometer, or km, the hectometer, hm, the decameter, DAM, the meter, m, the decimeter, dm, the centimeter, cm, and the millimeter, mm. All of these measurements are based on the meter. So the meter is our base unit, and everything's based on that. So for example, a decameter is made up of 10 meters. A hectometer is made up of 100 meters, and a kilometer is made up of 1,000 meters. So all three of those are a little bit bigger than a meter, and it gets larger and larger each time. If we look at the other three, we're going in the opposite. So we're going smaller than a meter, and we're getting smaller and smaller each time. So 10 decimeters make up a meter, 100 centimeters make up a meter, and 1,000 millimeters make up a meter. Some of these words might seem strange to you. There are really only 4 of these measurement units that we use on an everyday basis. That would be the kilometer, the meter, the centimeter, and the millimeter. The other 3, the decimeter, the decameter, and the hectometer, aren't as commonly used in everyday practice. There is an easy way to convert between SI units. You just need to count the number of jumps between the unit you're starting with and the unit you want to get to. The number of jumps tell you how many zeros you need in your conversion factor. So if you see here, I've listed all of our SI units in order from largest to smallest. So we're starting with kilometer, then hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. And if we can determine how many jumps it takes us to get from where we're starting to where we want to get to, that helps us determine our conversion factor. Then we decide if you're traveling to the left. So for example, if you're going from meters to kilometers, we're traveling to the left, we divide. And if we're traveling to the right, so for example, if we're going from hectometers to decimeters, we multiply. So let's look at an example and it'll make a little bit more sense. So we're going to convert 5 kilometers to centimeters. So in this case, we're starting with kilometers. And we want to get to centimeters. So in this case, we're traveling to the right. So if you look up above, it says if you travel to the right, we're multiplying. But what are we multiplying by? So we have to use the number of jumps. So from kilometer to centimeter, we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps to get from kilometer to centimeter. So there are 5 jumps between kilometer and centimeter, so our conversion factor is 100,000. So we always start with a 1, and the number of jumps tell me how many zeros I need. So in this case, I had 5 jumps, so I have a 1 and 5 zeros, 100,000. And like I said before, because I'm traveling to the right, I'm multiplying. So we do 5 kilometers times 100,000. And we get 500,000 centimeters is 5 kilometers. Now I want you to try it. So you're going to convert each one of these to their corresponding SI measurements. So the first one we're doing is 7.65 hectometers to meters. So you're going to use the indicators up above, figure out your jumps to figure out what you're multiplying by. So take a moment, you can pause the video and give these 3 problems a try. Okay, welcome back. So the first one, convert 7.65 hectometers to meters. So we know we're multiplying 7.65 times our conversion factor. So let's look at what our conversion factor would be. So I'm going to clear the work we did for the last problem, because now we're going from hectometers to meters. So we're still traveling to the right, so that's why we're multiplying. But how many jumps are we making? 1, 2 jumps to the right. So what am I multiplying by? I put a 1, and because I made 2 jumps, I put 2 zeros. So 7.65 times 100 is 765. So that tells me 7.65 hectometers is 765 meters. Okay. B. So B, I have 3,748 decameters, and I'm converting that. Oh, sorry. I have 3,748 decimeters, and I'm converting that to decameters. So let's clear all this. So we're going from decimeter over to decameter. So this time we're traveling to the left. And if we look up, when we travel to the left, we divide. So this time we're dividing. And how many jumps are we making? We're making 1, 2 jumps. So that means I put 2 zeros on my conversion factor, which means I'm dividing by 100. 3,748 divided by 100 is 37.48. So that tells me that 3,748 decimeters is equal to 37.48 decameters. Okay. And the last one, convert 532 centimeters to meters. So we're going from centimeters to meters. So we're traveling to the left, so we're dividing. So we're going to have 532 divided by something. Again, we're doing 2 jumps, so our conversion factor will be 100. 532 divided by 100 is 5.32. So that tells me 532 centimeters is equal to 5.32 meters. Okay. So that's kind of a shortcut way to do it. You can still convert from any kind of SI unit to another using your conversion ratios that we've been using all along. So we set up our proportion equals our other proportion, and we cross multiply. So let's see an example of that. So Janet is making 5 dresses. She takes measurements and determines the length of the straps needed. The strap lengths for the dresses are 38 centimeters, 38 centimeters, 41 centimeters, 36 centimeters, and 25 centimeters. How many meters of ribbon does Janet need? So the first thing we have to realize is that every dress needs 2 straps. So once we add up all of these strap lengths here, we're going to have to double that. So to figure out how much material we need, the first thing we're going to do is add all of these up. 38, 38, 41, 36, and 25. So we're going to add those all up. Let's see, 28 and 6, 7, 8, 168 centimeters. But like I said, because you need 2 straps per dress, we're going to double that. So we need 336 centimeters worth of material. So the question asks how many meters. So first we're going to do it in the same method that we did before. So we're going to convert 336 centimeters to meters. So let's go up and look at our little indicator up here. So if we're going from centimeters to meters, it's already actually shown up here. So we're traveling to the left, so we're dividing. And we're making 2 jumps, so we're dividing by 100. So 336 divided by 100 would be 3.36 meters. But like I said, you can also use your proportions to solve this. So if we look way up at our table in the top, it tells us that 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. And we can use that as a proportion to help determine our solution as well. So I can say that 1 meter is equal to or is over 100 centimeters. So if I have 336 centimeters, what does that equal in meters? So now this is the same type of problem we've been doing all along. So we multiply the numbers in the diagonal, which are 336 times 1, and we divide by that other number, which is 100. And we get that 336 times 1 divided by 100 is 33.36 meters. So you can see we got the same answer both times. It's just two totally different methods, and either one is perfectly fine. So I want you to take a second to try this one. So you're going to find the perimeter of the following shape and then convert it to meters. So remember, finding the perimeter means adding up all the sides. So take a minute, find the perimeter, and then convert it to meters in whichever method you feel more comfortable. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So the perimeter means add up all the sides, and I'm just going to pull out my calculator here and add them all up. So I do 108 plus 49 plus 37 plus 14 plus 71 plus 63. And we get that the perimeter is 342 centimeters. 342 centimeters. So I have two options. I can convert it using the method that we used before. So again, I have centimeters to meters all set up. So to go from centimeters to meters, it's 2 jumps to the left. To the left means that I divide, and 2 jumps means by 100. So I could say 342 divided by 100 would be 3.42 meters. It says converted to the nearest meter, which is rounding to the nearest meter. So when rounding, we would say, is it closer to 3 or can it be rounded up to 4? In this case, because it's 3.4, it's closer to 3 meters. My other option is to use my proportions. So another way to solve it. So again, just like above, we could say 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And then if we have 342 centimeters, how many meters would that be? So we multiply on the diagonal. 342 times 1 divided by 100, which is my other value. And we end up that x is 3.42 meters, which is the same as we got above. To the nearest meter would be 3 meters. So like I said, either way is a perfectly fine way to solve these. On your formula sheet for your quizzes and tests, you will receive these conversion units. You won't receive this list. So that would be something if you wanted to do the skip jumping method to determine how to convert it, you would have to remember is this list in order. So kilometers, hectometers, decameters, meters, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. But you would be given these unit conversions that are listed here. So what I'd like you to do now is give page 80, numbers 1 to 8 a try, and then you can try some extra practice for these conversions that I have posted on the website.